What's up, guys? It's Lefty here. Thank you for clicking on this video. I really do appreciate it. I don't just say that. And really quickly, I want to thank a couple of the long-term regular supporters. Stephen M., my guy, he's always showing love in the comments section. Him, Packed Mouse from the Discord, formerly Parlay Mouse. People like this, if I'm being honest, I would have stopped doing betting content a while ago, but guys like this push me and make me feel like this is worth my time. Okay, so this video here, we're talking NFL Week 12, Thursday Night Football. We got a divisional matchup with the division-leading Steelers, currently 3.5-point road favorites, playing in Cleveland, who are currently sit at the bottom of the division. Now, this preview is going to be a little different. In fact, I'm doing two separate previews for this Thursday Night Football game. I'm not going to go heavy on the X's and O's or the matchup specifically in this video, but rather talk about a unique situation that this game has presented to me, which I'll explain in detail. I'm going to post a separate game preview in the Discord for pro members, which will be closer to a traditional game preview that I normally do. Now, this video you are watching now, it's going to be a little bit more of a betting lesson while discussing the bets I have on this game. Not sure when you'll be watching this video, but let's just assume it's either Wednesday or Thursday during Week 12 of the NFL season. You should already have one eye on the Week 13 games. There are sports books that have bettable lines called look-ahead lines for the upcoming week. We have Thanksgiving Day games on Thursday, a Friday game, and then 11 games on Sunday, December 1st. Now, I'm not running numbers or doing any matchup-specific handicapping for any of these Week 13 games yet, but things can change, and they will change, like player injuries, but you do want to start thinking about how the potential results of this week's Week 12 games will impact next week's Week 13 matchups. Besides that, one thing I always look at first on these look-ahead games is the weather. Besides player injuries, weather is a big reason for line moves, especially with totals and especially during the winter months, which we're in now. Just for a quick example here, one game I have circled is the night game on Thanksgiving. The Dolphins, a warm weather team, traveling to play Green Bay outdoors in Lambeau Stadium. As of now, it just looks like it's going to be cold, but that's a game where weather could impact the game, especially with this current Dolphins team. We've seen how they performed outdoors in cold environments. There's a couple other similar situations, but I'm not here to break down Week 13 games. My point here is I'm always looking for ways to get ahead of line moves. The same way I'm looking at Week 13 games now is what I was doing back in Week 11, looking at Week 12 games. Looking ahead to the Week 12 games, this Thursday night game between Pitt and Cleveland, this was the weather report a week ago right here on the screen. As we know, weather can change, especially when you're looking at 7 to 10 days in advance, but we're gambling here. What good does it do if we sit back and wait to see what the weather conditions are going to be closer to kickoff? By that time, odds makers will have that same information we have, and they'll adjust the lines accordingly. So going off this weather report alone, and knowing the history of how the wind impacts games, and specifically games in Cleveland Stadium, which is notoriously difficult for kickers. Some of them say it's the toughest stadium to kick in because the wind kind of swirls and changes levels and directions, but not just the kicking game either. Bad weather like cold and wind impacts the passing game as well. So now I'm looking at the total and seeing 41, which we know is a key number, and now I'm thinking about betting the under. Now keep in mind, haven't run any of my numbers or gone through any of the steps of my handicapping process. I'm betting the under based solely on the weather, with the idea that if the weather report holds true, the total will go much lower than 41. Now, for some of you that have watched a lot of my videos, know that the NFL is widely considered the most efficient betting market, which in other words just means they have the most accurate lines or the sharpest lines. I'm not going to discuss why that is in this video. I've talked about it in a bunch of other videos. I'll link one in the top right-hand corner now. But because NFL lines are so accurate, That means if you're able to make a bet at a number that is better than what it closes at, it holds more weight or holds more value. If you're able to consistently make NFL bets at better numbers than where they close at, when the game starts, you're a mathematical certainty to win money long term. And long term is the key word here. It doesn't mean you're going to show a profit because you made a few bets during the week that had closing line value. Doesn't even mean you're going to show a profit if you do it all month. The general rule really is you'll be all right if you capture closing line value on a 100-game sample size. So back to my bets here. I locked in under 41 with the idea that it's going to be a good bet based on closing line value, not because I think the game is going to be low scoring, even though I do have the weather helping me on my side, suppressing scoring. And I'm not even going to lie and say that I thought the line would move this much. I definitely didn't think it would drop down as low as it did. Some books got to, I think, as low as 35. All right, now fast forward to this week. Now I've run my numbers for week 12 and gone through my game selection process, and even with factoring in the weather, I actually show an edge on the over, especially at the number 36. And I'll explain more about why I like the over in the game preview I post in the Discord. So now I have a decision to make. Just keep my under 41 bet, which is a good bet relative to the current line, or make a bet based on my numbers and how I think these two teams match up. Some would say to just stick with the under 41 and not give up any equity, which in this case it would be equity in the form of closing line value. But what I ultimately decided was to bet the over at 46. I explained why I like the over in the game preview I did inside the Discord. Which as a result of betting the over now means I have no real position on the game. I have a middle opportunity. I'm basically forfeiting juice with the hopes the final outcome lands on either number 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, or even 41. This isn't, a terrible situation considering it's the NFL and how efficient the lines are, and we're surrounded by key numbers. It goes back to the decision I had the week prior that gave me this option. If you're able to get the best of the number, you're in control pretty much. Now, if you want my opinion on the spread and how I think this game is going to be played out, along with some market analysis, I discuss all that and more in the Discord. The invite link to join the Discord is in the description below this video or in my bio. Hope to see some of you in there. Any questions, leave a comment or DM me. I'm really good at responding. That's it for this one. Until next time, good luck with your bets.